This video is from Ajit Kumar Nair, rehabilitation professional, Nair's Epigenetic Wellness. Imagine sitting down to dinner, and an adult son suddenly forces his mother to remove the food from her mouth, place it back on her plate, and chew it all over again. To an outside observer, this demand appears irrational. It looks unsanitary, purely demanding, and like a deliberate attempt to test a parent's patience. Treating a highly specific physical demand as mere acting out traps families in a cycle of frustration. Caregivers who try to discipline the behavior away quickly find themselves exhausted. In adults on the spectrum, these rigid demands are rarely about defiance. They function as a desperate form of communication or a physical coping mechanism for an unseen internal need. Finding a resolution to this household stress depends on identifying the specific neurological drivers that make that exact sequence feel necessary. This diagram illustrates autistic OCD. An intrusive thought generates an intense mental itch, a signal that an imagined disaster will occur unless a sequence is corrected. Forcing a restart aligns the physical world with their internal rule, resolving the error so it feels just right. Autistic adults often possess a hyper-awareness of the people they live with. They are highly attuned to the minutiae of their immediate physical environments. A reaction that seems entirely random is often tied to an invisible trigger, like a change in chewing rhythm, the sound of a dry mouth, or an unexpected microexpression. To the individual, these minor deviations feel like a glitch in an otherwise predictable world. The environment suddenly feels wrong and requires an immediate fix. The demand for re-chewing functions as a necessary neurological correction to stabilize their internal environment. Sometimes the trigger has nothing to do with the mother or the food. The behavior stems from an invisible wave of internal sensory overload. An unnoticeable stimulus, like the high-pitched hum of a refrigerator, a shift in room lighting, or sudden physical discomfort like heartburn, causes intense distress. Unable to control that internal pain, the individual pivots. They attempt to micromanage the one part of their external environment they can reach, their mother's eating. Other cases are driven by sensory fixation and scripting, where the mechanics of eating become a focal point. They might fixate on the physics of how food breaks down visually inside the mouth, or they may be reenacting a remembered script, reliving a memorable cartoon or movie scene where a character spit out their food. Behind every bizarre, hyper-specific physical demand is an overwhelmed nervous system searching for a solid anchor in a chaotic world. Understanding the internal cause creates empathy, but that empathy does not require a caregiver to abandon their right to basic sanitary and physical boundaries. The primary tool for managing this dynamic is the no-retake rule, a calm, firm, and consistent verbal boundary. Caregivers should use a specific, emotionless script every single time. State with absolute finality, "My food stays in my mouth. We cannot restart." If the individual attempts to physically intervene, the caregiver must safely step away from the table to signal that the boundary is a physical rule, not a verbal suggestion. You can safely redirect the underlying sensory need by offering alternatives. Providing a dedicated crunching object or a visual toy to manipulate during mealtimes gives that neurological itch a safe outlet. This calendar demonstrates a method for mapping patterns. Because these outbursts are rarely truly random, keeping a daily log to track variables like weather, sleep quality, and environment can reveal the hidden triggers over time. Combining neurological insight with consistent physical boundaries replaces household chaos with a predictable, stable routine. Thank you for watching. Ajit Kumar Nair, rehabilitation professional.